It's time for the social show with Viwe Kyolwana.
Social show?
Social show.
A very warm welcome to the social show. My name is Viwe Kyolwana, and for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be talking all things CSI, CSR, as well as shared value. It's a beautiful Tuesday. We are actually approaching the wonderful month that is November. I say wonderful because November always reminds me that Christmas is close, and I really enjoy Christmas. I enjoy being around my family, and I also just wonder what happens to your mind when November reaches. Do you start getting slower at work? Do you feel like you're a little bit tired, a little bit more? You're ditching meetings, you've got excuses upon excuses, because that's kind of how I feel. But anyway, as you know, we are open to your opinion or to your ideas or to your questions at brandlive.co.za, whether it be on Instagram or on Facebook. I will, or Twitter actually, and I will definitely read out your tweets and try my best to make somebody answer them in whatever capacity they can, especially if you are working within the NGO sector. I know a lot of NGOs enjoy the discussions we have on the show, so it's very important to me that your voice be heard during the show too. Also, if you want to know a little bit more about what we're doing, you can go to press@social-tv.co.za, and you can just send me an email there, press@social-tv, and I will definitely try my best to answer or get your content if it relates to the matter at hand at the time on the show. Another great announcement I'd like to really tell you guys is that we are now officially, as Social TV, as the social show, in partnership with the Mail and Guardian. We will be giving them a monthly supplement which will highlight the kind of stories that we have on the show, outside of the show, and that are to come. So if you want your content, or you want someone to cover your CSI strategy or your idea around being a socially active person, a person who really wants to make the community something different, or just has an idea around how to reach our Vision 2030 goals, send me an email, send me a tweet, send me something, and hopefully it'll make it into the insert. Anyway, without any further ado, let's start the day off with the news.
CSI update.
The African Institute for Mathematical Sciences has launched its African Masters in Machine Intelligence, the AMMI, at its Ames Rwanda campus in partnership with Facebook and Google. The AMMI is a novel one-year intensive foundational masters that will offer Africa's talented scientists and innovators world-class training in machine intelligence, preparing them to think about new ways to solve local and global challenges. In other news, Ikusasa Student Financial Aid Program and Harambee Youth Employment Accelerator are tackling youth unemployment through a new collaborative partnership aimed at accelerating the transition from learning to earning by scaling both organizations' solutions to this crisis. The crisis that, the problems that our youth face today is an unequal access to employment opportunity and the lack of emphasis on education. Indeed, when one considers how many youth sit at home unemployed when there are job vacancies that go unfilled by South African companies, it's clear that demand and mismatch must be solved in the youth labor market. And this is the challenge that is being addressed by the ISF, AP, and Harambee. And lastly, in our news, the African Legal Support Faculty has created a flagship initiative called the ALSF Academy Project, which is a 3-level capacity building and certification program. The program will be conducted through an interactive online portal starting with an inception phase consisting of a series of in-person workshops. It's a tool that will produce, collect, and disseminate knowledge, as well as provide tailor-made solutions for African lawyers and professionals. Well, that concludes our news for today.
All South African students want is a fair shot. Our government has acknowledged that households earning under 600,000 per annum need assistance in providing access to education for their children. This accounts for about 94% of households in South Africa. The funds available only cover about 17% of students eligible for assistance. Phoenix, powered by Standard Bank, is there for the rest. To Phoenix, you are more than just your grades and household income. Your story is what sets you apart. This is how our tailor-made solution works. Students looking to fund their education are able to motivate for funding on their own terms. They create a profile and send us a fee statement. Funders looking to help out find a student they connect with on our platform and pay the whole or a portion of the selected student's fees. Funders can also pay into the Phoenix Pool Fund. The Phoenix Pool Fund is allocated in accordance with the BBEE Socio-Economic Development Criteria, which means businesses can pay students' fees and improve their scorecard at the same time. We ensure that the students selected are eligible to receive funds and that their fees are still outstanding. Standard Bank support gives the funder peace of mind that funds will be managed responsibly. Because fees are paid directly to universities, the funder can rest assured that their money will only be used for its intended purpose. This support means that Phoenix doesn't charge the high administrative fees attached to similar donation platforms. Phoenix is a PBO, so all funds paid through the system are tax deductible. Best estimates are that in 2017, 35 billion rands worth of fees will be owed by families who can't afford to pay them. Go to phoenix.org and get involved.
When I was 5 years old, I was an annoying kid, playing all the time and asking my mom to buy me that toy or that toy. And I always wondered why my dad can do the same. Why he needs to spend his time like doing boring things like waking up in the morning very early or coming back late at night. But you know, time have changed. From 2007 to 2012, the number of unemployed people has increased from 170 million till 202 million. And 75 million young people just like me are currently unemployed. So I guess that my father, he had an easier time finding a job. But we can change that.
Well, as you know, Tuesdays is one of the days where I try my best to speak to somebody in the entrepreneurship space, whether it be social, whether it just be entrepreneurship, because I definitely think growth is growth regardless. But today we're going to be looking a little bit into social entrepreneurship, social enterprises. And if you're ready to launch a business, but you want to make a real social impact too, it's very important that you speak to the people already doing it, or you hear from them, right? And I definitely think social entrepreneurship is a great model to begin and to start and that's why Tuesdays I really do try to speak to somebody who is involved in an organization that serves a social or environmental purpose, but also generates income from their business activities and also reinvests those profits back into their driving their mission. And so today we're going to be speaking to Brownies and Downies, which is a Cape Town training center for people with intellectual disabilities and a vessel to really create change and acceptance in the South African culture. Special needs young adults are trained to be employable in the hospitality, service and retail sectors. I actually came into connection with this initiative at the recent last year's SAB Innovation Disability Awards, and I was so impressed. I think they won the first prize, if I'm not sure, but I was so impressed about what they were trying to do and how they were doing it and how they were really giving people who are somewhat in a lot of spaces, considered unemployable, which is completely untrue, and showing them in a different perspective. And so today I'm going to be speaking to Wendy Vermeulen. She is the founder of Brownies and Downies, and I think she's on the line. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning.
Hi, I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us so early in the morning.
No, of course. I'm here from about 6, so not that early.
Oh, okay. So I'm the one who's lazy here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Brownies and Downies. I always want to start off with the motivation around social enterprises, because I definitely think that it's something in you, within, beyond just trying to really make a contribution to the economy. It's something that's so much more personal. And I really want to know what the personal story was and the motivation around really starting the social enterprise. Where did it start and so forth?
Well, I'm a social worker by trade, so, working with people with disabilities, I've been doing that in my internships and in the Netherlands, because originally I'm from the Netherlands.
Yes.
So Brownies and Downies, the concept itself and the name comes from the Netherlands.
Yes.
There's a big difference. In the Netherlands, it's a full-on company, and here we are a non-profit and a social enterprise. So it's very, very different. But I took it over as the founder, and then together with my partner Wade Schultz, we set it up now almost 3 years ago. In February 2019, we'll be open for 3 years almost.
Okay. No, I know. And you guys really won big at the recent SAB, I think the 2017 ones, SAB Innovation Awards. And I just wonder, how was that sort of trickled through to your this year, and how did it help, if it did?
So so from the SAB, we also have a SAB mentor.
Yes.
So our mentor helps us. We meet with them at least once a month, just to see how is everything going. How is the plan? Is it viable? Is it because obviously us as entrepreneurs, we got all these ideas, and me as a foreigner as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't always fit into the South African economy and just everything in general.
Yes.
So our mentor really helps us with that. So at the moment, we are hiring, or we have hired, a front of house manager, which means that me and my partner Wade can just step down a little bit more from the shop itself and actually start focusing on expanding, because that's what we are wanting to do with the SAB money. So at the moment, with our mentor, we are starting to look into those options. But obviously, first we're training our front of house manager, and then once he is fully trained, then we can remove ourselves a little bit more, and then really start focusing on expanding, because definitely that is our plan. We're not sure yet if that will be in the Western Cape or if that will be in Joburg, for instance, because we do have people asking in Joburg, definitely the Joburg, Pretoria.
Yes.
But we need to do research for that first, because you can't just, a lot of people think, you can just open another shop because you have the money. But, you don't, because we are a non-profit, we have to be very careful, because if you open another shop and it doesn't work, then you've invested a lot of money, and then all these young adults, the people with disabilities that we're working with, then all of a sudden, all of them don't have a job anymore, and 100%. Then you got to go. So you can't just do that. You need to be very, very careful. So that's with the mentor. That's what we're trying to figure out, and hopefully we can have an answer to that within the next 6 months or so. That is our goal. Yeah.
100%. I want to just talk a little bit about the experience when somebody walks into Brownies and Downies. What are they expecting? What is it that they feel? Because for somebody who's in Joburg who hasn't really had that experience, I wonder how you would paint it for somebody in Johannesburg or in Durban who would be interested in sort of getting into social enterprise in any way. How does it sort of feel, and how have people reacted to this NGO?
No, the reactions are amazing. I must say it has really changed, because in the beginning when we opened, we had a lot of females.
Yes.
For some reason, females are more open. I don't know if it is less scared or more open, but that's what we noticed.
Yes.
And we had a lot of foreigners. So when we opened almost 3 years ago, that was the type of customers we had. Now it's everyone.
Yes.
From children to men to all cultures, all ages, all religions. Literally everyone's coming in. Everyone is used to it. I mean, we've been in a lot of TV shows, a lot of programs, and we do our own explaining. So I myself go to disability forums, disability conferences, but also companies. So, sometimes companies come and ask me to speak to their staff. What is it like to have a disability, or what is it like to have staff members with disability? Because a lot of people just don't know. They're not educated, or they're scared, or because of stigmas, or because of different beliefs. So I actually go and explain, that these young adults, they can work and they want to work. Trust me, they want to work. They want to have a job just like everybody else. They want to contribute and, take their family out to a restaurant and treat them as well. And, just like their parents and their brothers and sisters and their other family members. And
Definitely.
that's what I'm trying to explain to the mainstream companies and also other non-profits and just to our customers. So also when we, for instance, have markets where we sell our brownies and those type of things, then we always bring some of our young adults with us, just so that they can also explain. And if people want to ask them questions, they are there to explain. Yes,
from their perspective. I love that, because I definitely think a lot of the time you don't hear from the recipients or the people who are actually working, and you never really understand what they're thinking. So that's important. Now, as a leader in this space, what kind of challenges do you still face? Because I think because you are on TV and you've got a lot of people knowing about the business and the strategy, a lot of people may think, oh, you guys have figured it out. But I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that can still be worked on, whether it be from a business perspective or from just people's conceptions perspective. So what are the challenges that you, at your 3-year level, are still facing as a social entrepreneur?
There's still definitely some people that are not used to it.
Yeah.
Every now and then we get either tourists or people coming from Joburg or Durban or some smaller villages in the country that just randomly come past because they are at the CTICC, which is a big conference center which is close to us, or because they're going to SARS, which is close to us, and then they just randomly walk in. So then they don't always realize, because we don't just have young adults with Down syndrome, we also have young adults with autism, fetal alcohol syndrome, learning disability. So not all of them look, that you can see something on the outside, and that's sometimes we struggle with, that people will say things like, oh, but your staff is so slow, or why are they not answering what I'm saying, or those type of things. So we definitely sometimes still struggle with that, but I must say we've got quite a lot of regular customers that will then also say something to these people, or I will say something, or my partner will say something, or just our other staff members. They'll just say, hey, listen, this is what we do. Yeah. Please don't be so rude, because they actually have a disability. And our other struggle is, we are in the middle of the CBD. So obviously, rent is high, our staff costs are very high. And I mean, as petrol has gone up, food prices have gone up, everything has gone up. So being an NPO, it is quite a struggle sometimes, to get enough money into to pay for everything. But yeah, with that, obviously the SAB grant also helps.
Yes.
So yeah, that's definitely so. But I think that's for any restaurant.
Definitely.
It's a tough time now, so it's tough economic time. So I really don't think we are the only ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of the young adults with disabilities, we obviously have extra staff members, because we train them as well to be placed into other companies, because that's our goal as well, is to not just have them in our stores, or stores in the future, but to also place our young adults into other jobs, so that those stores also change their perceptions, that we are not the only one. That, for instance, we've placed at Spa, we've placed at Pick and Pay, or we're going to place at Pick and Pay, we've placed at Builders, and their, internal way of looking at people with disabilities has completely changed, because they are now working with some of the young adults every single day. So that's a very good thing.
That's amazing, and especially in the this industry that you're in. It's such a hard space for people who have disabilities, because they have to interact with people almost all the time. But because of your work, I think it's getting a little bit easier and easier. Any advice for somebody who's in the social entrepreneurship space, has a social enterprise or an idea that's similar to yours, or that wants to just allow people with disabilities into the workflow? What would you kind of say to them?
Well, I would just say, don't be scared and just do it. Yes, this country is in that regard a little bit behind from where I'm officially from. There's a lot of stigmas and a lot of, but fight it. Because it's worth it. People with disabilities in general, why are they different? They're not different. We are, we are all the same, no matter what color, what race, what disability, what age, we're all humans, and treat them the way you will treat anybody else.
Yes.
And I think that's the most important. And that's a struggle, we had with a lot of customers. Oh, yeah, but either they're so cute or shame or those kind of things. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. They don't want that. They don't want the shame or the it's they're also just like us. Wanting, like I said, wanting to have a job and if entrepreneurs want to either help or they have a disability themselves, never ever give up, because yes, it's hard. Trust me. In these 3 years almost 3 years, we've had challenges.
I can imagine.
And South Africa, in that regard, is not an easy country to start. Something like this. But never give up, because what we do, it's good, and I truly believe God is and will always be behind you when you do something, good like this. So, never give up. There will be struggles, definitely will be struggles. Yeah. But that's life, and just, trust God that He will take you through it, and that it will eventually happen the way it's supposed to happen. Yeah, I think
lovely.
That's really probably one of the best advices I can give on that regard.
Don't
and
give up.
Obviously, also that the non-profits and the companies should be working together.
Yes.
Because I realize, there's a lot of non-profits, there's a lot of companies that are wanting to help, but they have no idea who they can go to, or they're not working together. But if you work together and you're strong as a country, or as the Western Province, or whatever the case may be, then you can help so many more people,
100%.
than just doing it by yourself. So don't be afraid to ask for help. You never need to be afraid to ask for help.
I love it. And you can just give us a few of your where people can get you, all the corporates who are listening right now. Where can they find you if they want to collaborate with Brownies and Downies?
Sorry, say that again.
Where can corporates sort of find you on Brownies and Downies? The website what is the best way to communicate with you if I'm a corporate listening and wanting to get involved in helping out or helping you guys expand?
From the corporates, it's most likely the easiest thing is to email either me or Wade.
Okay.
So it's wendy@browniesandDownies.co.za, or Wade, or WADE, not with a Y, at browniesandDownies.co.za. But all of our details, our phone numbers, our cell phone numbers, our Twitter, Facebook page, all of that is also on our website, which is www.browniesandDownies.co.za. Yes, we are a level 1 EME-BE, and we also have an 18A status. So, yeah, if corporates are wanting or willing to help, they can definitely contact us regarding that. Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for your time. I'm pretty sure you'll be getting a few calls after this. Thank you so much for the work you do, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to talk.
No problem. So we're going to take a short break, and after this, we're going to be coming back with things to remember.
Imagine that you have $1.25. In the United States, you can have 5 bags of deep cheese and a pretzel. In London, you can have an instant soup. In India, you can have 2 steamed rice cakes. In Ghana, you can have a small box of chicken and rice. While you're imagining the tasty smell of that chicken and rice, 1.3 billion people around the world only have $1.25 to survive per day. They don't have a choice, but you do.
This is what you missed on The Social Show.
My first question then is, where are these hubs of economic development? Which township do I find a hub of economic development? Why must, if the focus is really capacitating the disadvantaged, why must I climb onto 3-4 taxis to get to a certain area? A certain area has got about 6 to even 20 of these, right? Coming from Alexander or Tembisa. So you then find that there is a township economy, but the people that are living within this township economy, that are starting businesses in this township economy, are not full participants of this township economy.
For more, go to www.brandlife.co.za.
Well, it definitely is my favorite part of the show, which is things to remember. If you forget everything I said in the past 30 minutes, and I really hope you don't, here's one thing that will still spark your brain and let you start off the week with some vibrant, constructive conversations in the office, outside the office, at home, with your kids. Everywhere you go, this is what I want you to remember.
Today, with social and economic inequality growing worldwide, millions of people are connected by the idea that it is possible to do business on a human scale. That it is possible to make money and do something good for the community. That idea is called social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is a new and creative approach to business, social engagements, and social services. Today, there are numerous organizations operating worldwide and in our country that we call social enterprises. A social enterprise is just like any other business. Its work is charged at market rates and it generates profit. What makes it a business on a human scale is the way that profit is used. Profit serves to fulfill clear social missions. Social enterprises do not serve to enlarge the wealth of their owners or shareholders. They operate in order to contribute to social equality and to improve the living conditions of people in the community. Generated profit is reinvested in the business or in realizing social goals like job creation, social inclusion, cultural needs, healthcare, and preservation of the environment. A social enterprise places social goals ahead of increased profit, uses business as a means of social change, resolves social problems through market strategies. Social entrepreneurship is also a good way for civil society organizations that want to reduce their dependency on donor assistance and gain greater financial and operational freedom. Starting a social enterprise is a challenge for all those to whom profit is not the only goal, who want a job that makes sense and has a purpose. Visit www.sense.rs and find out all about social entrepreneurship. Sense, Social Economy Network Serbia.
For me is the fact that at the end of the day, everybody's really trying to start something for themselves, for their families, for their people in their lives. They really just want to get involved with building the economy and making sure that the economy becomes where it goes, where it needs to go. And if more and more people can have the same drive and incorporate social entrepreneurship, I think we've got a winner. I think we've got a winner. So that's what that was about. It was about looking at how so many of us are trying to get into the entrepreneurship space, but also looking at how so many of us could potentially incorporate social activity, social development in the work that we do. And that's the thing that we try to emphasize every Tuesday on Brand Live. Anyway, it was a beautiful conversation with Wendy Vermeulen all the way in Cape Town, talking about her enterprise called Brownies and Downies, where they employ people with disabilities and give them purpose, and make their lives have a bit more sense, allow them to enter the space of work without feeling judged, and I think that's something to really celebrate and something to really congratulate and highlight. And if you have any stories alongside that and you are doing something similar and you'd like to just have your voice heard, please follow us on brandlive.co.za or just find me on www.social-tv.co.za. And that concludes our show for this brilliant Tuesday. I'll be back again, same time, same place, during the week, only on The Social Show. Enjoy.
Live from 27 Boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.